Yo, what's up, guys? I'm gonna be wearing these sunglasses because it's post game day, rehab day. So I'm gonna be wearing these glasses because that's how you prevent the headaches from happening and being slightly kind of, I guess I would almost say post game day feeling to a lot of people at this point is a lot like waking up and being really, really, really hungover after just an absolutely brutal of a night. That's kind of what this feeling is. If it's like, hey, you tripped and, you just got absolutely hammered. You tripped and fell down some stairs. So like your wrist hurts, your ribs hurt, your shoulder hurts, your back hurts, your neck hurts, your head hurts, and your legs like randomly have bruises, and your shoulders, and there's random stuff, and you're like, I don't even remember that ever happening. Like, how did this show up? Where the heck did this come from? And that's exactly what I'm feeling. So wearing the sunglasses, we're feeling good. I actually don't feel that bad. I was pretty prepped and ready, so I felt I got my body very, very, very prepared for it. And so I feel pretty good. A lot of this is still kind of more prevention type stuff, because I finally have figured some of it out. It's like, hey, don't, go from all this crazy ramped up energy and all over the place and, playing the full game and the ups and downs and the massive spike of adrenaline and everything else that's going on. So this is now a kind of way of, I have a very good recovery rehab next day that I've started, and it starts really the night before after the game. And this is now not even like, it's just a big shout out to Liquid IV, because once I started like actually using Liquid IV both before and after the game, that's been the best thing. And having Liquid IV last night, I felt like I was, because after the game yesterday, I was definitely feeling quite dehydrated. We didn't have water bottles because the way the school was with this stuff. So we just had regular plastic water bottles on the sideline. But having that and not really thinking about that, like, I just didn't really put two and two together, and I didn't really think to go and like grab some water. And so I didn't really drink much water during the game yesterday or after the game. So I was just kind of definitely depleted, definitely needed whatever else. And that was that. And I got back and I was like, okay. And I had one packet. And then this morning I had a packet. And now I definitely feel a lot better. I think a lot of the things that I were feeling was actually more the fact that I was tired and dehydrated. And now that I know I'm not definitely back to fully hydrated yet, but I definitely feel a lot better. And I'm very pumped that they are just an awesome product that actually works. So I know I am a brand ambassador for Liquid IV as a part of their team. So this also is now to part to them, but I've used them for a very long time. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to become a brand ambassador with them, is I have used them for so long, and they are such a great product that I've liked and I've used for a very, very long time. And I know out on the golf course, they essentially saved me, because playing out in Texas heat and playing in the middle of the day, playing 36 holes, and it's 105 degrees out, it's really tough to stay hydrated. And they played a huge role in there. And that's initially what made me such a big fan of them, is the fact that, holy cow, I had, a couple packets of Liquid IV and a couple water bottles, and I was able to be okay out in the blazing sun in Texas and hot middle of the day in August, July and August. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna start using Liquid IV a lot more. And so now to be a brand ambassador is super awesome, and I really like it. I really enjoy it, and that's something that I'm very happy about. And that's, I guess, a little part about me and why I am a brand, like, because to some degree, like, the royalties paid on to me for, hey, people buying Liquid IV through my link or whatever, yes, that's nice. Yes, it's cool, but it's more the benefit of, hey, you guys are getting a chance to use a great product that hopefully you guys will see the benefits and the results of, like I did. And so you guys can have that same benefit where it's like, hey, I hope that you guys would have the same great feelings that I do about Liquid IV, and hopefully you guys could use the product. You guys could have the same great effects. It could help you to a better extent that maybe it even helped me, because I know it's not like a perfect fix for everybody. It's not, you know, the end all be all. But at the end of the day, I think they do just a damn good job, and I think that I think more people should try it. So I definitely think it's something that's cool, and I think that's kind of crazy in the 2023 spectrum of, that's a way, you know, making money that way. And for me, I look at it and I'm like, I think it's nice, and I get and I understand. But for me, it's not like I'm trying to sell you on Liquid IV. If you don't want to buy it, you don't want to try it, you think it's a absolute quack, then here's the best part: don't buy it. Like, okay, that has no effect on me, has no effect on you, and that's your own choice and your own interest. But that's all it is for me. Like, I'm not out here trying to sell it. I'm not out here trying to be like, oh, this is going to revolutionize and change your life. I'm just trying to hit you guys with my own personal testimony of, you know, what it did for me and why I chose to be a brand ambassador for them. So as you can see with the nice Crunch Fitness right there, this is where I'm in part doing some of my post game day rehab. So I'm going to get myself nice and re-stretched out. Got to get the blood flowing again. Got to get all the lactic acid that builds up, and that's the reason that you feel sore and all that stuff that's other going on. So that's the plan. Gonna get, you know, massage bed going. Gonna get moving. Gonna get some blood flowing. Gonna get some action. Probably gonna sit in the sauna for a little bit and do some good stretching, and just try to really get a lot of blood flow, because that is the best way to heal, in my opinion. Is everything that your body needs to heal. So like a cut on your leg, there is things that need to happen. So the blood is like the Uber drivers of the minerals and the things and that your body needs to reconstruct what's going on. And like, that's the way I like to think about blood. And so I'm like, okay, if I can increase blood flow and I can get the blood flow moving, and, you know, making sure that things are nice and clean and not, you know, and stagnant, you know, they're not stagnant, and they're not just sitting there, and they're not just, you know, not doing anything. If you have this nice, good flow, then your body is able to get all the things that it needs to the places that they need to go to. And that's how I feel you're able, like, I think you can heal very quickly from a lot of things if it's based on blood flow. And I think that getting the right nutrition and the right other things in your body allow for that too. And that's what I'm gonna try to do today. So a little bit on my philosophy there today, and what I kind of thought about yesterday is this vlog is also gonna be kind of a talking to myself type podcast, is I think the way that this is going to kind of be in part. So I'm talking to you guys, but at the same time, it's like a podcast, because I'm bringing you guys alongside with me in the things that I'm doing, since I do a lot of things. My entire life, all I've tried to do is become a professional athlete. I'm 24 years old. I'm basically in the best shape of my life. And I've played a lot of sports, to say the least, and I've always played them. I mean, from the time I was 4 years old, like I was a gymnast because my dad's parents, they owned a gym, and so I was always in the gym as a kid. I was a wrestler when I was at the same age. So 4 years old, I was doing wrestling and doing gymnastics, and then I was playing t-ball, and then I played a little bit of basketball as a kid and a little bit of soccer, and then moved and stopped doing gymnastics, and then started playing football and baseball, and then was running track, and then soccer came up again later, and I did a couple like kids sprint triathlon things, and golf then got implemented, and I always was in the pool, and I was always swimming, and I was always doing things like of that nature too. So there's that fun element of it, and there's that aspect, and there's that side, and it's kind of crazy. But I could have competed in a lot of other sports too, and I didn't, but I already competed in so many. And in high school, I decided to try to semi-focus down, and I only golfed and wrestled. And at that time, I was, really peaking out on my wrestling. I was really making really good strides. I was really in a place that I knew what was going on, and it was really good on. I knew how to get better, and I wasn't burnt out yet. And I'll get on a burnt out section probably later, but I decided golf and wrestling, and then golf started going really well. I liked golf a little bit more. I think the whole wrestling thing was my body just wasn't in a great position. I wasn't doing a lot of the right things. And I thought golf, because of the long term, hey, I can do this forever. That's the choice that I made. I was able to get a scholarship and played my freshman year at Lewis University. It's not the situation that I thought it was. I went in with a completely wrong element. I was in the wrong mindset. I was in the wrong in thinking, and I gave it a different reality. And so when I actually had a chance to experience it, and that was my reality, it was completely different than what I thought it was. And I wasn't prepped for it. I wasn't ready, and I didn't make the needed right adjustments. But I still did other things there that led to then when I was at the University of North Texas, that I wrestled again, became an NCAA nationals qualifier and sectional runner-up, and then or conference runner-up, and then a NCAA Go Greco All-American, and so like that was cool. And I was a mascot and cheered at UNT. I was also a mascot at Lewis, and then a mascot in high school, but that's a different thing on a different random day. But did all those different things. So I mean, NCAA golfer freshman year, NCAA wrestler, cheered my junior year, now play semi-pro football. This is my third season that I've played, and was starting into MMA with Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, and that was back in September. So doing all those things and all this element, and I'm just in a decent spot, and to the degree of just, I've played a lot of sports because I just enjoy playing different sports. I couldn't tell you the different feeling between making a tackle or sinking a birdie putt. Like, they're both super energizing for me. And it goes the same for a wrestling takedown. It goes the same for, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. There's highs and lows with them all. But there's a certain feeling where, everyone talks about just, if you've ever hit a golf ball in the center of the club face and it was just absolutely struck really well, that feeling in your hands, and that's the thing that makes you addicted. If you make that thing and you transfer that to other sports, it goes like the same for baseball. Middling up a fastball right in the barrel and just absolutely connecting on one. You feel it in your hands, and it's a special feeling, and it gets you addicted, and you start chasing that feeling. That's why I still play slow pitch softball, because I have this motor that I can't just flip a switch and turn it off. And the Last Dance and Michael Jordan's thing, and talking about the fact that he has a lot of this issue, because I think it was his trainer that was talking about it, but for most people that play sports, you are at a if you play for long enough, you get to a degree with competitiveness where it has nothing to do with other people. It has everything to do with yourself and how good did you play that day, for how, like, did you do all that you could do? Did you make the best of every situation? Did you do the right things? Even when you make mistakes, did you still make the correct needed adjustments quickly on the fly to immediately get better and do all the things that you could have done? And it was 110% effort. That's the thing that I feel like I chase most, because, like, so for example, for the game yesterday, I felt I played as good as I could have played. I felt it was my absolute best. I felt I did all of the things that I could have done. And I was out there with, yep, I know I can say that I definitely gave the best that I had yesterday. On every play, on every chance that I could, I gave it all and my best, and I went out there and just played football. And that's the best way I can put it, is I went out and played football. I wasn't thinking, I wasn't worrying about anything else. I was present in the moment and just played. And that feeling for me transfers over to so many sports where I felt that same thing. With wrestling, I have felt in the moment and right in the time where it was specific into the order of I was present, I was in the moment, the match was clear, and it had nothing to do with the result. It had everything to do with I know what I did, and I know it was successful. Same goes for golf. I've had so many golf rounds where that same feeling of just, I was very present and I enjoyed every moment of this. There was good, there was bad, but it was my absolute best, and it was just an absolute successful day. So that's what I'm chasing. That's what I'm seeking. And so for this vlog, I said part of it has to do with, I think this is somewhat of a podcast for me kind of talking to myself, because the person who's listening the most intently right now is myself. So when I think about something like that, I'm trying to make myself better. I'm trying to be better every day. What things can I do to make those strides and be better? And how can I do that? And so that's where the accountability thing that I was talking about initially with this whole series. So I'm going to go in now and I'm going to start my rehab. But I appreciate the fact if anybody's listening, which for the most part, I know most people aren't, which is kind of crazy, because it's interesting. Like, for the most part, like, I don't care if anyone watches this, because I know this is more needed for me talking to myself and me getting a lot of answers figured out based off the fact that, like I said, I'm the person who's listening the most. So the self-talk to myself right now is definitely at a peak and a high. So if you guys enjoy it, then I appreciate it. But like I said, I'm gonna go get my rehab started, and then I'm gonna get some lunch. So maybe I'll see you guys when I get some lunch. But I'll talk to you then. What's up? What's happening? Running some errands, which I normally don't even do on Sundays. Sundays are my relaxed day. This is the day that I do absolutely nothing, or at least I try to do absolutely nothing. I try to do everything 6 days with 1 day of rest, and Sunday being that day of rest. It gives me enough time that when you sit and do nothing, or you try to do nothing, or you just relax and like you just take the 1 day to be completely off and not really do any type of work or anything, you will be shocked at how many things you will think of that you have to do, that you want to do, that you're wanting to get done and have done. So that's why I'm a big fan of go ahead and work and do something for 6 days. Be focused and grind really, really hard for 6 days, and then take a day off, because essentially that day off, you're going to think of so many things that you want to do and you get a chance to get to do, and some things that you're going to feel like you need to do, but still importantly, at the end of the day, It's a get to do thing, and you can choose what you get to do. And that's where the cool part is, because choose to do that for 6 days, and that be the thing that you can then continue to get better at on the 7th day by sitting and relaxing and doing nothing and just chilling out. So that's kind of it. I said I wasn't going to basically bring you guys along with me on the errands because I'm running the errands, and I'm not going to like bring you guys along on stuff. So this is where that's done, and then I'll basically talk to you guys later, and I'll catch you guys up once we get to that point. But for now, peace. All right, we done with the errands. Got a little Sonic, a little peach slush action. It's between 2 and 4, so it's happy hour, and I've always been a fan of Sonic, and I haven't had one in a really long time. After the game yesterday, still pretty calorie depleted. I'm like, I'm okay with it, but got the errands done. I know it was essentially I talked for a long time earlier, and that was something that kind of expanded, and I guess I just kind of got a lot out at that one time, but found out that we actually are going to have film of this game. Someone that was in the stands actually did film, so hopefully I'll be able to put some highlights in on this vlog. If not, I might have to do it tomorrow, but I'm pretty much gonna call it for the day. I know I talked for a long time earlier, and that was a majority of my podcast, and you know, that's kind of all the topics that I wanted to really talk about. And so I'm not really going to kind of do much for the rest of the day. I mean, Sundays are my days that I don't do anything. So I just really am going to be kind of basically kicked back and relaxed. And I mean, I just kind of want to hang out with my dog and not really do much. So it's a Sunday. I don't do anything on Sundays. So like I said, I'm just going to hang out and kick it and relax. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.